Hey there, in this video I'm going to talk about motion graph, which is in distance time graph. As you can see here, I've prepared 4 different motion graphs in this page right here. So every motion graphs, I have named them as A, B, C, D. And right now let's look at the A. So this graph right here, this straight line graph, it tells us that this graph, the speed, it is steady speed, which is constant, okay, which means it has the same speed for this graph. So let's check it out. We know that in distance time graph, the gradient is equals to speed. Okay, so let's find the speed for this graph, this straight line graph. The formula of speed is speed equals to distance over time, right? So the first one, this first point, we know the speed equals distance, which is 1, the time it is 1, so 1 over 1 it is equals to 1, so 1 ms. Okay, so let's try another one. So let's look at this point, 2 and 2, and we know the speed equals to distance is going to 2, and 2 over 2 it is going to be 1 as well, so 1 ms. So every point it is going to be 1 ms. Okay, as long as you follow the scale, which is 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, the speed is going to be the same. Okay, so for the next one, the B graph, as you can see, the line it is curved, which is accelerating. If we are talking about a car, which means the car it is accelerating, so accelerating. Okay, so the reason is simple. If we plot it, let's look at this point and this point and this as well. As you can see, if we draw a line, a tangent, you can see the tangent, it is going to be steeper, right? Steeper and steeper. So we know that the gradient in distance time graph, it is going to be speed, right? So if the gradient increase, which means it will become steeper. Okay, it will become steeper and you will increase in speed as well. When you increase in speed, which means you have change in speed, so that's why we have acceleration. So as you can see here, the line, the blue line here, which is the tangent, it is going to be steeper and steeper, which means your car, it is accelerating, will be faster and faster. So for the next one, this graph C, as you can see, we have a curved line, but it is curved inwards, right? Curved to our right, right? So if you talk about a car, the car, it is decelerating. Okay, which is deceleration, and at the same time it is retardating, which means deceleration. So let's plot it first, and we can see the whole story of this graph. Okay, so let's plot it. I will plot it. Okay, so right now I'm going to draw a line, which is the tangent, which is the gradient. Okay, tangent is gradient at the same time. So as you can see, the tangent is become less steep and less steep, which means decrease in, which means steepness, it is equals to gradient, right? Gradient equals to gradient. Okay, if we decrease in steepness, we will decrease in gradient as well. If decrease in gradient, we will decrease in speed as well, which means the car, it is becomes slower and slower and slower. So for the next one, this graph D, as you can see, we have a straight line, we have a horizontal line, which is perpendicular to our x-axis. As you can see here, the car, if we talk about a car, the car stays 4 meters from time 0 to time 4, which means at rest or stationary. Okay, stationary, which means not moving. Okay, point A to the car here, and the distance is 4 meters. Okay, so if we talk about the car parked from point A and the distance is going to be 4 meters, and which means it is not going to change the distance, right? The distance is still going to be 4 meters. So from point A to the car is 4 meters, and the car, it has already parked by someone, and which means it is not moving, the distance is not going to change, which means at rest, not moving, it's stationary. That is why we have a horizontal line, okay? But normally we will not encounter this graph like this. Normally we will look at this graph, something like this, like a trapezium, and the rest is going to be here. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you have understood what I had just explained, and do remember to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.